Stefania Costanza, a very pleasant personality, and when we met her, her vibrancy was all over for us to see. Started her mission as the Consul General of Italy in Mumbai on the 13th of October 2017. Until September 2017, she was the head of the Consular Protection Division in the Consular Affairs and Migration Policies Department of the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. From November 2017 to November 2015, she was the Deputy Head of the United Nations Division at the Political Affairs and Security Department of the Ministry. From September 2012 to November 2014, she served as the Deputy Head of the Mission at the Embassy of Italy in Kabul, Afghanistan. 2007 to 2012, she was at the Embassy of Italy in Argentina. 2002 to 2007, she worked at the Consular Affairs and Migratory Policies Department of the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs as the Deputy Chief of Staff of the head of the department. Born in Sicily, she said today, she studied at the University of Florence, where she graduated in political science and joined the Italian diplomatic service and started working in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Let's not mention the languages. She knows English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, German, and now she's learning Hindi. As we call you on this dais to address the young students who would love to hear you, may I also make a mention here, Italia, the ancient name of the Italian peninsula, which is the land where she belongs, is a land of art and heritage. From a beautiful country on the Mediterranean Sea to a beautiful country in India on the banks of this another particular sea that we have, ma'am, welcome, and please give us your compliments.
Thanks a lot for the introductions. Namaskar. Me, Stefania Costanza Hu, and I guess this is all for today. By meaning your this. Professor Takar, faculty members, students, thank you so much for having me today. It's a very special occasion for HR College inaugurating the Zip Code 2018. This is thrilling. I feel very excited. I'm sure you will have a great time. I was so happy to be invited here. It is inspiring to be among you. We had a nice conversation behind the scene right before coming here, and I already got the feeling of how articulated you all are. And this is just great. The world is yours. This is what you need. Guidance to get exposed as much as you can to everything that might be interesting for you. As we saw in the video, was really nice. The author of the video is somewhere there. I love the music, by the way. I come from Italy. You might know it is south of Europe. It's a very nice country. We have many beautiful mountains, coastlines, islands. This is very nice. We also share an old common language that is the ancient Latin. It's a bit like Sanskrit for you. In Latin, when you say educare, which is the Italian version for education, comes from the Latin and means the verb is educo. That literally means pulling out. That's what they have to do here. Pull out the best of you and try to make you dream your dreams. When I was 16, I decided that I wanted to be a diplomat, and I wanted to live my life abroad, around the world, representing my country in different countries. I was lucky enough to get my dream coming true, and I lived in Argentina. I served in Afghanistan, and now I'm happily here in India. It's a huge privilege to be posted to Mumbai. It is really incredible, India. What we want, all of us, is to be global citizens, as we heard before. Why? Because that you want it or not, we live in an open world. And we have to live with that and make the best out of it. Trying to learn from each other as much as we can. Trying to get to know each other as much as we can, in order not to be afraid, not to be free, first of all, in our minds. Is education is pulling out the best version of yourself. That is what study is. What they can give you during these years is a method of how to confront yourself with life. I strongly believe that Italy can offer a lot to Indian students in terms of preparation, but also in terms of soft skills. A set of skills and abilities that are very much needed today in a very fast changing world where conditions are continuously not granted but keep changing. And we have in our DNA as Italians this ability to adapt. We're very flexible in terms of how we understand problems and we try to solve them. My feeling is that no matter what you study, no matter what your career is, a set of soft skills must be developed. So if you ever are keen to get to an international experience quite far away, think about Italy, where we can offer 40 plus courses of graduate and postgraduate entirely run in English. I encourage everyone to learn Italian because Italian is a beautiful language, but it is not. It is not needed anymore. This is not mandatory in order to study in Italy. Why I say so? Because well, we want to have more bottles like that. I don't know if you know the story, but Bisleri was an Italian investment made already 40 plus years back by an Italian gentleman who was Conte Felice Rossi. And in Italy we still have Ferrochina Bisleri. This is a sort of liquor that you can find more or less everywhere. It's a bit old-fashioned, but it's still around. So the gentleman married the daughter of Mr. Bisleri. He was very adventurous. He came to India when quite well in advance before internet spread around, so leaving everything behind, and tried to make his life out of this. Was not, at that time, was not a matter of bottled water, but a matter of juices. Well, the investment didn't go very well, actually. Then it was nice, but then something lacked. And possibly the market was not prepared to get bottled juices and water. So after that, it didn't go very well, an Indian investment came and bought it, and bought the trademark, and started out with bottled water. Promoting it in a very old-fashioned way. There was a nice waiter serving on a nice tray, something like an Italian fashion thing. And this became a great success. It's probably the best one of the first and best success ever at the beginning of new ideas floating around India. So is it what? Is it Italian? Is it Indian? Actually, it doesn't matter anymore. It's a Bisleri bottle, it's a success. It doesn't count if it is one thing or the other. We would aim at to have all of you like Bisleri bottles. It doesn't matter where your ideas come from, where your thoughts have been shaped. If here in the US, in Italy, or in Taiwan, I heard someone spending 1 year there. It's the success. It's what you make out of that that really counts. So I really hope. Sorry, ma'am. Thank you, doctor, for helping out. I am sure you will make the most out of the zip code, as I am sure you will make the most out of all the preparations and knowledge that you're getting into these years. Please remember, the world is out there, it is yours, and either you disrupt it or you will get disrupted. So really good luck to all of you. And thanks again for having me.
Thank you, ma'am. I think resonating what ma'am said just now are the words of Swami Vivekananda when he had said that learn everything that is good from the other, but bring it in your own way. Absorb it, do not become others. So I'm sure you will learn from everything that happens, all international exposure that you get, but stay Indian, because that's what you are. She's very Italian, I could see, very proud of the Bisleri bottle. So I guess we all should be too, because right now Bisleri is ours. Thank you, ma'am, once again. However, just to take this a little forward, we will open this particular room for discussion. If any one of you have any queries, anything that you'd like to exchange with the Consul General, we'll give you 5 minutes for that. So quickly, anybody who has a question.
Good morning, ma'am. So I have a question, and I was really thoughtful and really thinking about this. So, what are the different career options for Indians in Italy? What are the different career opportunities? Different career opportunities for Indians in Italy.
Thank you very much. Ooh, how much time do I have to answer? No. I think there are many different opportunities depending on what you are looking for. Since we are here today, I'll start saying that we do have some of the best universities for MBAs and for management to complete your career. I would mention one for all, that is the Bocconi University. Bocconi ranks 4th in Europe for MBAs and 10th all over the world. We're very proud of that. They do round courses entirely in English. I would like also to mention 2 other excellencies of Italy. There are the Polytech in Milan and Interim. These are 2 different universities, but they combine very well. Whenever you want to be a space engineer or an astronaut, well, I would quite really easily recommend to apply to the Polytech. There's a very rigorous selection process. You will learn a lot about the latest applications. We do have space programs, the ASI, the Italian Space Agency. ASI is the 2nd best in Europe, partnering not only with the European Space Agency, but also with the NASA in the US. And we gave to the world Samantha Cristoforetti. You might know, she's been the first woman spending almost 1 year up there in the sky. We're very proud of her actually. We do also have an Italian lady again running the CERN in Switzerland, where we do apply the Italian research methods for the benefit of everyone. I would also mention sometimes fashion and design is what we do at our best. In a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, the Architecture Biennale in Venice will start. It will be an amazing occasion. It's Biennale, so it's every 2 years, but the year when we do not have the architecture one, in Venice we do have the art Biennale. It's an amazing occasion for getting together for all those professionals who are into interior designing, architecture. And when I think about architecture, I think about shaping the space around all of us, the way we do live, our private spaces, houses, etc., but also our public spaces. Think about gardens, think about the squares, etc. So this is a great occasion. We do have every year in March something called Salone del Mobile. This is the furniture fair. This is by far the largest in the world. It is in Milan every year, end of March. And the Salone del Mobile is an open air fair, as you get all the exhibitions, not only in the ordinary and traditional shops for furniture, but also private apartments and very unusual locations. I mean, Milan turned upside down and become part of the design wave. Of course, there's the Milan Fashion Week when it comes to fashion, and everything that is related to luxury. Think about boats for sailing or for high speed. Think about automotive and cars. I don't have to mention Ferrari, or should I? So when it comes to the very high end, fashion and design, Italy can really have a say all around the world. Starting in Italy, those kind of applications gives you, of course, a different pace all over the world. Try to say that you studied at Marangoni or at the Polimoda or the Accademia del Costume Italiano. This will open doors everywhere. It could be usefully used also here. Think about Bollywood and all the amazing applications that this film industry has. Actually, I have to say that India will be country partner for Italy for the first fair ever dedicated to all the works of audiovisual when it comes to 3D, also 4D, for the Mr. Ramon's new movie. Will be 4D, will be presented beforehand in Italy in October. It was entirely run in Italy, and there will be presented. So for the first time, India will display itself and its ability, partnering together with Italy on that. So I mentioned all the high technologies when it comes to management, fashion and design. I could mention, of course, music, lyrics, but then it's probably too much and you can guess it. So hopefully it's more or less an answer. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. One more last question.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are the working conditions after masters? That is postgraduate management.
Once you study in Italy and you get the permit to study there, you are absolutely allowed to get a job if the placement allows. And I have to say that our MBAs institutions, they are all partnered with and team up with the finest Italian companies. They are usually very happy to get young students, young talented students. And in that case, you will get a work permit that usually can be 10 years plus. With this permit, you will be able to live, of course, and live and work in Italy, but also move around Europe. So you can think about Italy as a sort of getaway to the rest of Europe too. This is, of course, up to you. What I can tell you is that we do have, right now, 368 Italian companies in India. 200 of them manufacturing in India as part of Make in India. Our biggest hub is in Pune, where we do have Ferrero Rocher, Jeep, this beautiful Jeep compass that you can see around. We do have Piaggio with the Ape, the three wheels vehicles, but also the two wheels. Just mentioning the biggest, but then we have all the agricultural machine sector. This is quite important as we have very advanced technology for that. And imagine that with some of our agricultural machines, it is possible to spare something like up to 20% of the water that you might use for cultivations like sugarcane or rice. They are very water-intensive cultivations with great benefits for both for the farmers, but also for the environment. We also do have representations, offices here for banks. Italian banks are represented here. We do have in particular one bank, Banca Sella, that is active in Chennai. They do all the e-banking development and artificial intelligence for all of the world for that particular Italian bank. So another big hub is Bangalore. Actually, I'm leaving for Bangalore this afternoon to attend a conference an international conference on high tech, where I will be the guest of honor, right? Because Italy is very up when it comes to high-level technology. Another part is Chennai. It's a very important one for our companies. Why I'm saying so? Because you might want to study in Italy and stay in Italy or in Europe for some time or for the rest of your life, but you might also want to be back. And we do have students that get tested into the HQ companies in Italy and then sent back to India, working for the Italian companies, but here. And if you think about Jeep, HQ are in the US. It's an Italian company, it's very big here, it's even bigger in the US. You might want to start working for an Italian company in Italy, but then go to South America if it comes to telecom, or to the US if it is the case of Jeep, and so on. So I would say there are plenty of opportunities when it comes to what happens next.